Hi everyone, this is Charles Joe with the Distroid project. Once again, showing a quick example of some of the things I want to experiment with for the Distroid Catalogue Knowledge Graph, KG for shorts. So one of the things I've also been interested in, especially regarding organizing all the media in the catalog, is also including the concepts that people themselves have added, associated with their media. So when I'm collecting works, one of the things that's also included, of course, is the fact that people tag their works with certain keywords. So things like decentralized, blockchain, Web3, pro social, social media, all that. So all that stuff gets tagged along with those works. But I wasn't originally collecting them. But now I think that they should be added to this Catalog Knowledge Graph. One, to help with the actual indexing and organizing of media. So that way, if you're looking for certain media that's already been tagged with a keyword, you can just search that keyword already. That's one of the things I was kind of worried about, is that you have to make a topic model itself for the media that's being curated in the KG. I might not have the same keywords that the creators were associating with their works. So it might be that people can't necessarily find it the same way. So I want to include, excuse me, how the actual creators are actually tagging their own works. So that way, that's in there. And then if I do make a talk model, it'll be based on those tags which are already associated with them, to get more of a representative model of how people are actually assigning concepts to media on the human technology relationship. So here, as you can see, it's a lot. There's about like 191,000 edges, at least just for between works and concepts, and then just a couple for concept schemes. Like, actually not that many for concept schemes, but there's a lot of concepts. And so actually regarding the concepts and like how that of course relates to works as well. So like here, let me just make the side panel real quick. So, but as you can see with the overview, there's it's quite a lot. There's a lot in here. So close the panel there. As you can see, for this one example here, medium topics. So actually, let me show the side panel. So yeah, in this concept scheme, so the title medium topics. Those are medium's topics. So like we go to like medium.com. So for example, you see the site right here. Actually, I was doing look at that. Yeah, sorry about that. There we go. So if you go to like Medium's Explore Topics page, you'll see all these topics here, which people have associated with the works, and these are pretty much managed by Medium.com. So we go back here to the graph. That's where it is. Oh, it's right here. Scheme URL. So yeah, so scheme URL, use that to, that's the point to where the actual scheme is. Happens sometimes. And so that's the concept scheme. As you can see, there are a lot of topics, on Medium. And so, for example, this topic here, this one is actually in the scheme. So here we take a look at example, example concept. So that's concept URL. Tag this health data. It's under this concept scheme, and then the scheme term. So the scheme term, that's the actual term within the scheme. But if you look just at term health data, it's like that's just a term itself. So that way you can see how people are using the same term, but outside of the particular context. So as you can see, it says health data. So if someone else searched health data, like on Medium, but like let's say you're on YouTube and you search, for this particular term health data, health hyphen data, and that's actually in the catalog. So you'll be able to see how someone's tagged that with YouTube onto YouTube, but also how it's been tagged on Medium. So this we can see in multiple places. And so if we take a look here at the concept URL, this will also take us to the actual page itself. And boom, you can actually see how people are actually. Oh, there's some interesting stuff here. How media is actually being tagged with this concept. So as you can see, so as we go here, now we look at this relationship. No, actually, it should be this one. Yep, there we go. And so now we see how how work is actually being connected to the concept. That's yeah. There we go. So for example, man, now we have the has concept relationship. This one's actually pretty simple. I don't really think there's really much to it. And so has concept. So if it goes from a work to a concept, that tells you, what concepts are actually associated with the work. And of course, that takes us back to health data. Right now, Medium doesn't provide definitions, and I didn't have any comment on it, or at least comment that came from Medium. And so these has concept relationships. An example, so like for example, this work, what's at stake in wellness capitalism. And so as you can see, it's associated with these concepts. So you see there's really a lot of them. It's like wellness, surveillance. And so that shows you how what the creator would want, main keywords want to associate with them. But like this way you can actually search for terms in the KG. So this way, it's another way of organizing the media in the KG. But of course, it's not Distroid's particular concept scheme or topic model. It's one that came from Medium. There's also YouTube as well. So that way, you can see how different people have organized different things. So let's see here. So move this to the side. Actually, let me just see if we can get the overall. Like so. Okay, so actually let me move this over. Now let's zoom out a little bit. So you can see Medium has a lot of topics. A lot of concepts associated with works here in the example, but there's actually a lot more. There's just 1,000 nodes. So if we go here, so we can get a little bit of an easier view. So these are a couple I got from Paragraph. So on Paragraph, every publication has its own set of categories. So I pretty much gave every publication its own concept scheme. So here we have with the username was Paragraph categories. As you can see, that's a concept scheme. And of course, you can actually, with the scheme URL, you can actually go to, the Paragraph publication. And that'll take you there. And then you can also see the actual tags. Let me see here. Yeah, so then we go back here. Okay, and then if you go to concept URL will take you there. So now you see the posts that are tagged with blockchain. So that's some information you get from the concept URL. But here you can see, here's the work, and you can see that's been tagged with all these concepts. So on-chain organization, crypto, DAO. As you can see with the caption here for concepts, this is just a term, but if I change that to the scheme term, now you can see that's actually, took me out. Now you can see that's paragraph.xyz, category now. So that way you can see okay, within the scheme, that's actually how the terms represent, but when you change the caption back to just the term itself, now you can actually search for crypto, DAO, blockchain organizations. So if you're looking for works associated with blockchain, this would be something that would come up, even though you're not looking specifically for the scheme term. But like if you want to look for just the scheme term, you could also find it as well. So this way we can see how different schemes relate to each other. Because usually the thing is like we don't actually know, just people associate a certain concept with the work. We don't actually know if they're using the same definition. So we don't know if they're have the same context. So that's the reason why it's really important that we have the scheme term and different schemes. So that way we can also relate the terms themselves to each other. So like for example, blockchain, usually that one's pretty much the same thing. So like if another scheme term had blockchain, for example, we could just say that those are pretty much the same thing and just say like, oh, that's the exact match, or or this term is broader or narrower. So we can also show how people's schemes, concept schemes relate to each other. So that way we can also hopefully find some like common language, so that there, there's not a lot of confusion about like what do people mean when they say, decentralized, or some other terms. Like, oh, we can hopefully have some commonality or some common language. And so that's where this subgraph, for concepts and concept schemes, comes in handy. And so here we have like another example. Excuse me. So here we have recalibrating. As you can see, works themselves have the has concept, while concepts themselves have the in scheme. So that's compared to how it works. So like you go from scheme to the concept, which will then take you to a work. But then you can also go from work to concept to scheme. So that's pretty much like the path that you can traverse in the graph. So from the work, as you can see, it's like blockchain. So here in touch grasses, he has the term blockchain, and then as we saw in the UAS, they also have blockchain as well. So you could say those are pretty much like the exact same. So if you actually want to relate those terms, you could do that. And then you have like data latte, some examples here is like data DAO, data da. But yeah, you can see there's like a lot. And see here, it's term knowledge graph. And we hit the concept URL once again. No, okay, actually no way that happened. But pretty much you can associate all the terms with the work. So this is another way of actually like discovering the works in the KG, but also keeping it true to the actual source, and hopefully use that to find common language or common understanding of how people are organizing their media, regarding the human technology relationship. So we go back to the big graph here with medium topics. So for example, you can see artificial intelligence. Very, lots of works tagged with artificial intelligence. So, if you're searching for, artificial intelligence, you should be able to then to, find all of these works. So this way, just another way of discovering what's actually located, what's been curated in the knowledge graph. And you have like forecasting, and so you have like meticulous forecasting, and you have like meticulous launch, which is, which has this relationship here, which takes you to, artificial intelligence. But then also has this one here for nuclear weapons. And then we have a way bigger one. Yeah, that one's long. Let's say climate change. But as you can see, this is another way of like discovering works, but also just seeing how people are organizing knowledge in the human technology relationship, and hopefully being able to establish some of like a common language and common terms which we can use to categorize media, so that way everyone kind of has an idea of like how to actually find things and what things actually mean. So that's kind of the goal of this subnetwork. And yeah, it's just kind of a fun just to see like all the things, and especially if you got to take a look at the YouTube one. So if you are interested in actually using the KG for your own project, or you want to actually contribute to the development of the KG, please send an email to ledgerback@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on Twitter @cajobu, If you just search CADJOVU, I should just come up. Or you can go to distroid.substack.com and you should be able to find our contact information there. And if you're interested in either one, you just send a message and we'll try to work something out. Hopefully you found this video helpful and somewhat informative, and hopefully piqued your interest regarding the KG. If you have any additional questions or other feedback or or anything you would like to see added, modified, or deleted, send a message. And lastly, thank you for watching the video, and hopefully you watch some of the other videos and either look at the KG for yourself or share with other people.